Members of the committee to investigate the incident include security expert Dr. Vladimir Enchidanso and Juliet Amwa, Executive Director of Pen Plus Byte, a civil society group. Justice of the Court of Appeal, George Kingsley Kumsin, is chairman, with Marie-Louise Simmons, a principal state attorney, as secretary of the committee. Minister of Interior, Ambrose Derry, made this public when he led security officers on a fact-finding mission to Ejura on Thursday.
And I believe that within the 10 days given, ending 9th July 2021, the unfortunate circumstances would be investigated and appropriate recommendations made. Nana, I assure you of the commitment of the government to ensure peace and security in Ghana, working towards the president's goal to make each citizen and each resident feel safe. What happened would be investigated.
The minister says the committee will also look at the murder of social media activist Ibrahim Mohammed, also known as Kaka, which is the main cause of the incident.
In my view, Kaka's death led to a certain reaction on 29th, and that reaction is what brought about all the occurrences. So there's no way Kaka's death would not be investigated. But that's not taking away the investigation of the CID, which is into the criminal aspect of what is happening. We want to get to the bottom of that.
The minister said all fundamental human rights will be respected, especially the right to demonstrate. He, however, insisted the police will be notified when embarking on such exercises.
The right to demonstrate is a constitutional right, and we support it. We loved it. Growing up, I demonstrated. And like I said before, a committee of parliament, the young men and women who are demonstrating are our children. And they are the leaders of today and the leaders of tomorrow. What government can do is to engage them, listen to the views that they are proffering, and see how we can use that to benefit the projects that we are doing. And therefore, when the Fix Ghana group came up first, we offered to meet them, even though we thought that the police were not comfortable because of COVID-19. We still wanted to know what their problems were. Not because we wanted to deprive them the right to demonstrate, no. I believe that we'll soon get out of, we're hoping they'll get out of COVID, and you go on the demonstration. We are rather interested in making sure the police protect you, so that no against people can come and cause any harm to you. And of course, you shouldn't cause harm to others as well. So that's as simple as that.
Mr. Derry wants the people to support the police and the committee to avert recurrence of such incidents in the future. Meanwhile, the traditional authority at Ejura is pleased with government's response so far. Chief Berima Oseshide II expects government to look at finding a solution to the election-related violence and other forms of violence regularly witnessed in the area. He says efforts have commenced to establish a police division in the area.
Honorable Interior Minister wa haidie. Na ade achisa ne yekọ yanimu yi. Ye besro Ejura. Wa nkasa wo ka chem se ansa na obekọ okuro no obefa Ejura beda ha ansa na wakọ. That means Ejura eka okuro ho. Yekọ yanimu yala. Adom nkaboa ye na ye nhwe se dachi bia no ye benya military detachment bi wa ha. Ah wo mbe base ha sei. Na chese yesesa wo mokra na ehu se ka ba ku bi sikwa no ho a tembia no ye be hu security for no wa.
For Joy News, Nana Ojima reporting.
So I'm say ma memfa this sad one in Bella Samoa onyame adoma this weekend or Mampong na okopene mame krabia Bella Samoa nti adofo ne bushafo nyina enhye ne so na yenkota ye nua bema actor Bella Samoa ne mame the late Mrs. Esther also assuming na yene wo hye na otwi ewie ye wo Mampong yenko na yenkotai nechi ebekoso memenda 2nd of October 2021 our house number plot 23A block B Daho Asante Mampong nti yenkota Bela Samochi ebra okokata ne maame echi the late Mrs. Esther Owusu assuming asem ana yekai so na yenkai na nana ya abrefo ono so bema ono ne wo ne ba kofi lawyer madam for pa ono so radio to Safre no Ignatius Kofi Edusei lawyer onyame adoma memenda we wo eye Kumasi anasa nhyehyɛ nyina ebekoso Himan Apri Himan Road Osofo Maame Junction ana yɛde ne bɛtompem na afei awufu som na nkasa de yɛbɛɛ no St. Mary's Catholic Church or South Centreso na afei abusuafo atenase ɛwɔ Heroes Park Babayara Stadium honum Kumasi free 1 p.m. ekosi 6 p.m. The question down akọ ɛyɛ na asia sorry ɛwɔ St. Mary's Catholic Church South Centreso anopa no nko no pepepe nti yɛnkae ne yɛhyɛ no so na enter busuafo nyina echi yankase de Ignatius Kofi Edusei Esquire Radiato Safre no na yankota busuafo echi enter nana ya abrefo so echi this weekend ewo Kumasi. On the brighter side of life, Radhi Yankwache, and we are grateful to Kel Chaco Toothpaste. Yetimi di body train bidi bidi apoye se kama ama yenka kama esia efita ahode so abem na yetimi kasa series wo nipem. Is another quality product from Samara Company Limited. One say aso kwanso kosi ne sa enkomo we yede bro. Pay for atnase. Make us say the Dennis Miracles Aboaje National Communications Team member ma the New Patriotic Party. Me say I just shade yi enche bia edini ebeto watch this space. Me say no ni. Ya na mampanyi wa studio mampanyi ahodo mabanyi na wa studio about appointment over 4,000. Amu su dem enye ize o dakora wonna. You know. Ahani hu the real professional lobbyists ne sa ankofo na omusu ne mampanyi ne ekoba biribi ada no mampanyi won namfo be aduasa de ono omuko suku boom de na busuafo na asore members potemfo omusu a party campaign ne omu eto abasako se namfo ne bibiri nti omu nyina no omu interest do sa brewe ya ansa na omu makusua kwan fa so edefe mampanyi ma ne nchiremu de nti ese ode we kwa we jode we kwa sa lobbyists for no almost ewo honum kwanso. Did you watch this space? Dennis Miracles Aboaje National Communications Team member kane na oyemensin krachi watna sesabre. Sanso na Derek Ohene Bequeen also de na konwa no ambrasiem afem eye MPP amanyuku no ewo Upper West Achim empeso aso nti also de afem mo onyame ya 2024 Ejura Derek Ohene Bequeen ose osa akogina konwa said the ono ne flag bearer kan Ghana kan ye man pe kan no ose o mahu fom so o mo ye enu nti bibia di adanse se ye koto aba na ye dinkunim o polling station ho na ye nye gya ho se de mere bi ba ye gya ho no na o de source say we die e be do or die do or die. Ona do bi makwa ba.
Jesus really why.
Bibia e kama.
Oh, basa ya do madaro.
Oh, ya da nyame ase. Ya da nyame ase na.
Yeah.
E me de semu nyina mo DC fo.
Yeah.
E me bi atwam.
Yes.
Na ene DC fo nkomo no guso a e ko. Ti Miracles they do sabre we say oh ye mercy catch e be to so about say cause report aminya no. These are from very, very revered people in society. Ebinumusi Elembele. If it is the case, Assembly man for only demanded 10,000 Ghana cedi
Each.
Yeah, each. And a CJ Chromo across or something.
A chance.
A chance across here, say. nipa no almost on free ho nti no so akoye contention mommy ni kan ti we influencer na afia mra the reality na
oh we dey but that's na me chia me senior brother so me say even though we upper west akemu no nyina dey fibi podo so
oh wow
wow na me chia in fact congratulations mu ema nana ya kranting
okay oh hodom no
the be nana ya kranting no CEO, newly appointed CEO for Minerals Income Investment Fund.
Oh, okay.
Minerals Income Investment.
Oh, no, you're not cutting a hole.
Aye, good. Aye. If you're crop on, okay. If you, it's another utrinkwa. Your bomb paya mo say. Okay. We do mean na be koso pepe.
Okay.
Now, say we nominee for Assembly bi Ghana ha Sambria. Na say nyanto so aba e be den so beda.
Really?
Wedding so better because.
So the appointment would you know about the carry?
Oh, only one leg of it. And only one leg of it. And we are very critical because, of course, since I didn't ma. But that is not the end because you see, some confirmation of the municipal chief executive by the assembly members. And general elections in Boye.
Wow.
May me say if you give me the option to choose between. Assembly members ebe to wo so aba ne say nipa 30,000 kwato ban kama fa 30,000 because assembly members me wo mo ye be 48 nti nipa 48 na wo obi bi ahwo mo sa the fate of the municipality eno wo ankasa wo fate ne hwo mo sa but ye the man nipa 40,000 anke because nipa 40,000 nipo de so betime komo no acho mo de a enti omo nto aba ma ene mpuntu wa de beba but the facts of the reality is say with this electoral college system, no, that's not it. I don't know. Nipa no come on in the nyina yeah. Idea be na work vision be. That's not what critically that's not what they look at. That is a fact. Nti ema na yedin. Ema wo dwen no pressure no ye more because these people take control of the entire process. Intimino kase be fit last week meetings upon meetings, caucuses, pocket meetings, pocket discussions. Any idea oko na ohini we ho oni assembly members 3 we nkasa ma o assembly member bi o so no so for control pa oko ne ho market woman bi oko assembly member bi yere ho ai ese oko hu assembly member bi girlfriend na on ne ka obi ho ni nua ne wadamfo nti so dynamics no
normal exercise
no it's a very complicated, complex, process. And I mean, we must be fair to all the nominees. It's not just about what you can deliver to the area. When it comes to that elections, it's not about what you can do to. Obi out to say at 2 abetiana, and yet to say be a the man for no. It's not about. Obi will cry time now, especially when you are renominated. Ebi no ye MC, Obi will cry say no baby, a personal. And most of the times a personal. Obi an issue of Ejuma no David a personal ebi okokrosi no baby obi wo ne na asase ho manso bi ne ebusu asem bi ana the ethnic dynamics also come to play
okay
obi wo si wo na area for mo di ache dodo we mo 4 years wo mo di ye think say 4 years baha all those things come to play it's me I am a strong advocate for elections of MMDCs on the universal adult suffrage principle yenyina yenkokoto saba we because the AACC are no any different from their MPP na propose no the same thing yemfa nipa no nyina enkoma all the over 30,000
whatever
because it's not different it's the same process
but still
the same thing abano so on partisan basis because after all nominee say political party na yi naba nti we are be able to say all stretches kakra ena yede eka it's nominee so mubetua ontua obedi at all that's the truth
so you have to pay
and then now we say we man can now to say why you have to
there's no jam kakra
when ebu okra mutumi no unim ebu okra assemblies ni bi wo hawate say omatua no mastaga on my 1,000 there in 20 and on time first second 155. I mean these are things we must be frank, open and discuss so that we can find solutions to it. Na kade
now modern bono
David na say wo ye nipa ne sa wo de nipa ne fa sa kwan ne so That's what better office wa. A crime ben of a first wa or Baconia says can actually be a coffee free. And so these are realities. So you know, and these things they happen even within parliamentary primaries across. But we need to begin to discuss them. The time to conceal these things, we should discuss it. Obi assembly, members baby 40. Assembly members say yeah, would nipa back could be 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, almost about 200,000 Ghana cedis. No. To me, when MCs, former MCs, when we be more to me, you cannot finish paying our time in the class. You understand? You can't finish paying our time now. But at the end of the day, sometimes, and yet an issue of self, I say, me, because even your credibility, integrity is on the line. Oh, I'm penning the ashe when you say. When to me until you have to ensure and do whatever you have to do. Yes, you have an opportunity to serve your people, and painfully enough, the people you are going to serve don't have a say in this particular, election. And anytime you open up an electoral process, money business a coffee and a jai. Because nipa 30,000 but nipa kakra bi nti we kona nipa be 10 nipa na hijack and assembly elections nipa 5 everything we hijack and I said one of my colleagues Olusi no he had 3 votes per day winning 3 so you can imagine if these 3 people decide say yeah they ain't to mouth that just we see few man 3 pe na aka 3 he needed just 3 more votes to win until I think it was about 9 people who voted against him. And then I think 13 people voted for him. Until now, he had 3 if 9 him. Now we have 16, not their film. And then because of that, he's been rejected. So now, Senyame and Adom president sign nominating the Bima. It's all pekon be first was 9, we have 3 film. Nipa 3 people, they will hold the entire district, to ransom. It's a very worrying situation.
Mine, Dennis Sky, so I'm in chairman for. So why DC paying this moment? Your brother a modern. Yes, and all canon. Yet the name I say the CC, but in reality, Sana cost for football. And your modern bo, we are first time I appoint to a man for one shows are quite obedient and I want to mean it. No, and Obi cry, Obi area point to it was over DB on Kono Bisum immediately. Even within your own party. Say we are. MPP Abanye was president and now they are nominated in Ibawe. There will be a faction within your own party, actually.
In some of the districts I'm hearing
that they pay losing bonus.
You haven't seen about trust and communication. Wow, losing bonus. Yakwaba. Well, yes, I was here trying to come on to say hi, Badwam on Adom TV, multi TV. So I'm say, Koso can say, Damasipa, trying to come on to say, for me, see, Evelyn is here, sorry, also Algebra, also Rebi, Koto companion for Bako. Evelyn, good morning. Also, share that so Algebra. One see what DC for coming. And yeah, for the same metia, yeah, not Mentimania, the Nipa to dress at Tom Swaba, Mantiman Cross. Yeah. Yes, I bet too much baby ma. Mampay who mobiles was Casamia and Samra, neighbor too much baby ma. The massage Mr. Kevin. Oh, my Yaseman, I walk on. The first one out to and the first one day. And your man pay you cry, who's a rano chess as your 2 first one when ya within 10 days as yes, Santo Swaba. Okay, and we didn't do a man pay you cry. That within that 10 days, no. Oba. You see, let's face it, and discuss. That's what goes on in all the assemblies. Oba. And we are talking about fighting corruption. Nipa no tiwo no nya ne nwumadi ene ne modern body ye hwe homa assemblymen a confirm no. We call this time the akoko season. Now to no now within I'm caught here the point say what is cocoa season? Yeah, it's the akoko season. Within kra no omampai no to why the nomination no. Ono ane party ma. Ebisu to 8 year losing bonus.
Someone got 20 and no
for somebody to lose.
Yeah, for someone to lose. The nipa will lose, you know. And you're not a nipa and penno. Na mo bi e wo ho a ono so fo say ye tutia no na yi ni fi ho a ni nipa bi na beba na no ana beba. And you have to find money to fight all these things. In the DC is someone there. Last na me kan we DC asoma so no. Enya se meda form. So this is what is going on all over the country. DC bi no betimi aka say ye hwe na nim ne se wo there. We Joseph Ba ndi entoma near the man na okoye. And they are rejecting people to not base say when you're competent and I say they cannot work. Never into consideration. Na baby say people are paying huge sums of money in order to be confirmed. They are not bribing their way, but that is the demand on the situation. You have to pay. Currently, no. So go trans every day on sasha unantem. Ngani so like bate. They enter abanama na ko.
Okay, so that's it. Our fair conversation. Ejura committee recommends compensation for families of deceased and injured persons. So among the recommendations, 1, the committee recommends adequate compensation for the families of the 2 deceased persons, namely Abdul Nasser Yusuf and Mutala Siraj Mohammed. Adequate compensation must also be paid to other injured persons, namely Luis Aikpa, 20 years, Awal Misbao, 16 years, and Nasif Nuhu, 30 years. These are the names known to the committee. 2, the committee recommends the immediate transfer of the district police commander of Ejura, DSP Philip Kojo-Hammond, first for his incompetence in handling the situation and for the fact that his relationship with the community seems to have been damaged beyond repairs. 3, we further recommend for structural expansion of the Ejura police station and an increase in personnel. 4, we recommend the removal of the Ejura Seshedumasi Municipal Chief Executive, Honorable Mohammed Salisu Bamba, since his continuous presence as MCE will exacerbate the already tense security situation in Ejura. 5, it is further recommended that the military establishment review the actions of the section on the ground led by Lieutenant Martin Opoku-Edusei for the inappropriate use of force and apply appropriate sanctions. 6, we further recommend the training of RESEC, MUSEC, and DISEC officials in the Ashanti region in conflict and crisis management at the Ghana Armed Forces Command and Staff College at least once every year. We recommend the development of a joint standard operative procedure for military police operations, including roles for indispensable allied agencies like the National Investigations Bureau, NADMU, Ghana National Fire Service, National Ambulance Service, etc. We further recommend that the NCC should intensify its public education in relation to the rights, obligations, and civic responsibilities of the people of Ejura. It is further recommended that all crowd route crisis control units be made to wear body cams, and all vehicles and mobile gadgets employed must have cameras. 10, we recommend the establishment of a sports and other recreational facilities in Ejura under the Zongo Development Fund so as to rechannel our energies of the youth. So the conclusion is there, thanking XYZ, but these are the recommendations committee in Itinase or the EBAE. So, about the Mamisha, so this whole issue about the kaka or kaka or whichever way there was a ka. I could find same by the attack on the media, the political twist and interpretation, and finally the recommendation that has been made by the committee. The power on so one na one of us to start with. Are you satisfied?
I think I'm fulfilled. In terms of satisfaction, I'm say when the entire matter has been brought to an end, and I'll explain how I feel that the matter can be brought to an end. The attorney say we be any bibre, ama as on mine and our stakeholders, you film. For example, the security services, what are recommendations here? Almost baby almost into and then come between me so the media has a lot to pick from this as well, because say you share BBI in semi free bar, what kind recommendations any you share hearing now, it's quite clear say we cannot absorb the media of any wrongdoing, you know, especially multimedia, because at some point say utie in some way course and utie some of the testimonies, then you could say it could have been handled better. The whipping up of sentiments, the whipping up of emotions along the line contributed to some protesty, and then the as it's been described by the committee, incompetence and show of lack of professionalism by the security services and also on the ground also led to some of these things. And see, obi is also film. Nananom kre we Ejura e so di on film. And then this has also brought to fore some of the infrastructural deficits a war community. Key for me is the fact that it's established clearly by through the hearing and by the committee say Kaka was actually murdered by his own family, and that it was based on a family feud. I think this is the point I may make about a complete end to the matter. No, I think the police at this point should take up the matter and then now investigate and then conclude the investigation, prosecute, and make sure say whoever took the life of this young man will be dealt with accordingly and appropriately. We need to understand say when it comes to mass and I say large, population dealing with them, obiane sinusi drink, any obiane akwan fa so any normal. And see if we have the platform to sort of engage communities, especially when it comes to issues like these. Mekai embrace me by fix the country, kasebi or kasentina, yekuno, and that's actually what listening to the hearing and listening to the comment. That's actually what sparked the protest on the streets. The question is, could it have been avoided? Could this have been avoided? I think yes. If some of us had slowed down by making conclusive pronouncement as to what had led to the death of the young man Anka, we would not get to where we are. If we had not made it look like Abain and now will be na Kuno because all Canada Yanka, there will be no protest. Because they will know say so that's for me it's a major lesson, because there was a banter all over social media. Some said freeze the country, some said it wasn't, and blah blah blah. It went back and forth. Some were trying to justify, and I mentioned multimedia specifically on this because that's where I started reading it from. I think we need to learn from this, and that is not to say but this is an indication to us. These are some of the repercussions. People may lose their lives carelessly, and then others may also be maimed, needlessly. 10 recommendations. Each of them, I think, is quite solid.
Okay, so
some of them, I believe, have been implemented in Purada. Because obviously, say MC is so yes, and I know say police commander, Commander Ham, he was once a district commander in my area. I mean, dissect so. And see, I'm sure say these are I don't see any other recommendations. I mean,
okay. Okay, so on the findings, I'm sure probably you've gone through, and multimedia through Erastus, as I don't call, really helped the committee, because we can kind of findings now. Multimedia through Erastus don't call. The videos, the pictures, yes, really contributed to the success.
To the committee, yes, I agree. To the committee. Mine is the fact that the incitement.
Yeah, but the committee did not see that.
No. The committee is talking about your contribution to their work. So I'm telling you mine.
Oh, okay.
I'm telling you mine.
So official document is that. But for
it doesn't change
no
the
problem
fact that,
about
yes,
that.
it doesn't change the fact that I feel if some of this incitement, that's my description of what had led to the death of Kaka by multimedia. Another media houses are. Anka ebi anka yenya protest mpo yenya obi enwu anse yakọ committee me akọbo no.
Okay. All right. Okay, me that's it. Oh.
Yeah, I'm say it's a welcome news. Should be a defeat and a Juma committee na ya be disabria. Say Ejura nsem na ahomete. Na sena me nuade nesika no. I wouldn't blame the media much. We should time you see na any brea na the first country the gentleman's role in the first the country movement ne why no advocate of offending saying
fix the country.
Yes. Any brea would winner. Actually one shot na enya hwehwemu a it will be point ye trinkwa any nipa ehu dwumadi eden e course a ona obra ni ho no anka be eden. Alright, nyame wo se ne oye ne nyoma nyina meka mo be di dase they saw this the brother or you say enya no a anka e be eden pa. But as that say we share juma committee na ye no with the recommendations na ampa this in crowd onu fi ho ansa na one recommendations crowd eba out. Okay, police in the end so no at times young professionalism in whatever area we find ourselves are very important. We share life you lose because of the police action no. Now we say they could have handled it better saying you know. They are this young kase a say the police and the people all stakeholders involved who say nya obaye bia no ehun asodi oman ko nanimu asa ne men yekoso a eba no eye police for no so asade say enya bibia etututu no adoso. Okay, etututu no we can report now when the action of the friends in public no enye so provocative to the extent say we dey use firearms. But they did. People say what motivated the police at then to do that, and I'm very sure that Nintina offensive commander no yaman happy baby then after yin the few no he also learned his lessons. All right, yeah. And you know your mom pie at times I recommendations you bar you ever try you see one more if free mono kaka nankasa de yamonidi but two other people like who you know young compensate one they never said they should compensate kakas me sure say after they are ever taking the criminal aspect they didn't do any criminal offense investigations. Okay, per the mandate given them by the president and I'm sure that the courts will handle the criminal aspect of it. As to Niokuno, the Intiokuno, they will do their judgment. And to honor the say they cannot pronounce compensation for Kaka. For Abra Mushimu Fiasi dress but I don't think it's right. The one of my recommended say MPBB and Patawono. Yes, right. Yes, Rabbi.
Infantum.
Sabria Abbey, Infantum. Abai who diagra a hana he. Na report to Naba. And so now they say ye nas and drib and I say ye because people are suffering over there. Will be a pride, be an uncle connect maybe. And now a prayer of the few to me yesterday. Will be a free maybe on notion the bush and with Janet Ma and I be better, sir. Let's do a bassa and ma akumatoi day.
But what do we also tell the youth? Because amongst the recommendation, baby, I made that park as you say, teach you more man sing for payno. Into Tiabi Mra, Mamunya nim dear or bambo, ne ho ye, name and Timmy who wants to say a bar. I if you have Fimun Cramo or quantity bar could be Kurana on data. A Badwam because bambo in an modano. Mumudu do na azbeja to say ba bambo hunim de nso na e bia sin to kakra ewom sa hono mujitum say we should immediately carry it out.
My is it may be bar actions need be spontaneous. And in an area official recommendation also there should be some sort of how do you call it
structural expansion.
So that they can get a place to engage their energies and sort
setting up recreational facilities.
No one yejuma. Yes, one woman you, woman now that's what the Bible says. The idle hands are always available. So the devil will use it. And the devil will use it. And if facing your kaka something you know. You say, oh, I've been a youth leader all this while. Me, I'm beginning in politics even before I was a youth leader. Up to a point a friend is saying, me the film where they come anymore. So what community be in Simba? It is not good. I'm not saying it's good. But that youthful exuberance, any our zeal to support our own. So me team crisis here, me feel cocoa as you for Abamukro. In my upper West Achim. Now a leader be all of a sudden, yes, hey. Me leader or a friend Abam Mugabe. He's a unit committee chairman. No, we better see a Kumugabe. Just like that. Nebia proud to killing Sahami Nipano. And now on mine Nipano, he's the unit committee chairman. Me Bonnie didn't know so much. They know that Mugabe, if any could do. Obviously, the community will rise. That spontaneous reaction. That is where the professionalism of the police comes to bear. They're taking all this into consideration, we have several means of crowd control. At times, if you want to attack, you have good results. And that's where the police failed. And yes, I'm saying, at the Siandibi Subeko, I'm a youth who said, maybe you are, and so we are there. I'm too on board. Because reaction here, it depends on the action that came earlier. It's in the and no nansha police were there. And now law enforcement agents were there. Once they reacted to. Now one shiny and one could papa. Until I see and yes, and ya walk. Say, Emrea bar. As I say, you know, issues be bar. Let's resort to the available means, the peaceful means in resolving issues. The BS be bar as an individual, as a group. Now to be public a we need the best solution to use. Send me a tibiano as a debria yinya would tremor yama, a tree in Puntu Yede, a quetry, especially at a timer. That's what mine I do see, and I say, offense, Ejura farms be on and Kofoko farms. This is where the role of unemployment plays in some of those things. So, yes, yeah, Nipani go, a demand go, Amunko, a demand on Mofi. In the Ejura farms, na ye Ejuma. And now other factories be Ejuma. And the youthfully, gainfully employed that time the incident this they'll be out there working.
Okay, Miracles, you agree to that?
I agree. I mean, also medical because I say we know yes, we are all the stakeholders. Even your cry, your chair music we have a lot to learn from this. We narration, on the actions by the DC, and the Rex there are some gaps in there because like my senior brother was saying, in as much as and you're connected to face the country, there should be a red flag. Said this is already a community advocate. When he's BBC about how do we handle it. Youth. I'm here. I want to say be more no go street and so 70% no money into Moho. Say 70% no money at the crop pot. No almost street. Baby na
they jumped into it.
I most of our best can do na. Obi on a reason. Obi we a protest. Yeah. DC na popular. Sa police we minimum. Inti issue back on. Obi an reason inti ya.
Or they have joined.
Or they have joined. Inti NCC education is, the civic education is critical. It's an American sabi. Multimedia for video crane to me they unravel a lot of this. But almost you be
BF.
Ha. Obi a picking the idea Ephraim. I'm sure.
So because man komra yeba what buy no. Everything now is on COVID. Inti most of the free COVID muna mo shishe ni ya man. Yakwaba. Yebeko so Adom wase semugusu amojibre na mo hwe na mo tie Badwam on Adom TV multi TV. So ebra so say ye dey minute be nwotwe da enim na e dey wrap up nti 99 ana ye eche meka say hi Badwam on Adom TV. So Miracles. Now the assurance from the Sector Minister Information Recovery, Ghana now focusing on recovery of the economy after COVID the whole sense. And this is one issue the minority and some Ghanaians have with the MPP everything is COVID. It's COVID. It's COVID. It's COVID. It's COVID. I want to check COVID. I like of COVID. COVID. If you are seeing a COVID, what now? What's the style of Modeba?
I am say Obia ni ho change. Say COVID no has had a very big impact on the global economy. Ghana credit here, other economies are struggling. And say a council why you can't because so we share economic indicators prior to 2017. Any BBA or minor fee from 2017 back from 2020 answer na COVID never. It's quite clear say Obi make it a COVID argument, very, very valid points. And these are facts and figures. You can't to mean a COVID never, and I start here say my performance, any growth, thankfully, and yet ye penny ye can. I think the draws and Sakra Bank of Ghana and Sokra Babekai. Before the IMF and Sokra Edicare Canada say we are on the road to recovery as a nation and as an economy. And your COVID anchor, Senka, if anything, containers in the year to free, you're free China be. Senka movie from $3,000, it's a call 15,000, it's a call 20,000, a COVID. And your COVID anchor factory say, well, the monitor credit, a bimun shut it down. Now, based on your friends, some workers are more affected. There was a time, one particular factory in Tema, almost about 150 workers at that factory in your COVID, so they had to shut down. Because of the same COVID, internal trade facilitation between Yen and the Europe, Asian community countries, and see, even inputs a lot of our industries need to be able to produce, some inputs, and for which reason, kakano mutu mi produce naturally, and also nebo bekosro, so mutu mi produce import. COVID, a lot of people have lost their jobs, not only in Ghana. Ghana, we managed to even keep workers at work, and some of them were being paid, especially public sector. Nobody was laid off, but in other countries, they were laid off. And see, we cannot discount the effect of COVID. It's going to be there for probably another 5 years or 6 years. The COVID economy that we discussed is going to be there for another 5 years or 6 years. And so, you bet me at on a new pattern. The good thing is, because of the strong base and your work as a mining, even though it was so yakrano, yeah, science, you bet me, Ejura so in many and I think say you be kind of near to me, near to me the economy number back on the before COVID. You almost about 16 to 17 taxes of our next. But it's an COVID last budget. You introduced the 2 or 3 new. The COVID relief levy, the SC, the top vaccines, and the excess power capacity, they were 2 full or and it's all because of the impact of the COVID on us. And can you say some engine is in Casa COVID levy you can be introduced. And the new taxes about higher. A lot of people have lost their jobs. They are now trying to find new jobs in the system. A lot of industries that require foreign inputs to be able to produce are not producing.
So we are really on course.
We are on course. I mean, comparatively, if we compare ourselves to other nations, I think we are on course. And if you look at the figures, I think it's getting better from the way it
is. It assuring that now the focus is on bringing back the economy to be on track?
Mine, Medase, say, no sadia, necessary. We have to bring back the economy. They should be on track for recovery because, but my question say, say we have to stimulate the economy to recovery. Are we doing that? You see, we are taking leverage in the advent of this COVID. The excuse be COVID. We quite a mature poem de ama buying no. MPP are buying COVID aba ama mind in aye bre. Ghana so ye ka ho bi. Na Ghana de yemu anka ache enko ne yakwan de yi ye ho ano. Aban me ye bi asenka COVID be ko. Nanso no kwase me wo bitremu ni say COVID anko anka me pe. It say me nya COVID de yi me ho ano.
Haneka we una woka na za
for poem na
for
una woka
for the MPP government. One actions in answer is it in my poem. So what I say.
Chabano trim kono say ebe ka ebe check.
Yes, that is the approach. We show the posture, abani posture, no. Why am I saying that? See, you can't stimulating an economy for recovery, and maybe you are buying some day. Major investment. You want to raise your revenues. You want to lower your cost, and so many things. There should be capital injection in the system. Ama yenye bidi ye juma, ama manfo yenye juma ye den aye. Me no ka say, yanko sign hydro. Me fa no example. From 2017 Iba, there were this first phase project making up of 10 lots. Bayons, option is na nkeseka by 2020. No way. That 2 billion.
It's a COVID.
But me bow COVID apa. You see, a projects are in the budget. Our no friends say finance minister they got to one. Yinim krano na you were over 600 million they can draw down. That's the contractors. Menu ka say. And na many will be the program so. What may use only 100 million? Are you a serious government? Do you really mean business? And answer you na Dr. Badwam ye di ko fa ba no adanko dada di wo mnim nyomo ya na. Me na say, who was 6 or mine? Who approve a commitment of over 600 million settled down for you to use on those projects? None, not even one has been completed. COVID ko ye o den ho. COVID ni mo ena sign hydro for making available that money. Inti undi enyesa ko fedi o enyuma na wankasa da beto edi I think by 2020 share me my example me wan say tamalenta jajidi and he say ko enim kakra it's just about 38 million inti nka sikana ya available no
for this ejuma
no
so am the inner rows you know make
na out of 6 projects are we yina no we see 2020 sika be 600 eda ho we see 100 na medi. You understand? Let's look at their borrowing. Share
cost.
Borrowing cost. And they borrow both external and internal. When private enterprises, institutions, it is a time that there should be some sort of grants, capital injections for them to work. You are crowding them out. Because I buy my babu saying, many workers say, Yaka could do 336 from 122 after NDC left government. See, your debt to GDP, 76.4. See, we are using over 80% of our revenues to pay interest on loans. No, you are some local banks. No, private businesses uncovered the way for.
Miracle, just a word.
I think I wanted to stay on course at this point. We me off course. But the fact of the matter is that the Sino Hydro projects are ongoing, you know it. The economic stimulation is ongoing. Which is our Obatampa program here really out. That's exactly what it's talking about. And really, politicians. Wow. They're stimulating economy. He has mentioned the things that we are doing.
Yeah, do we be asking? Another edition of the year.